The time has come, Eagles Nation. The countdown has begun for the next Eagle flight, and this Saturday is our day of preparation. We know the battle won't be easy, but we take the field fully aware and ready for anything ahead. And before we take off, let's raise the chorus. Drop a comment to thank the mastermind behind the scenes, Howie Roseman, the architect keeping this nest stronger every single season. Don't forget to smash that like button. Your support powers the team and spreads this energy even further. The sky is the limit, and the next victory is already on the radar. Fly, Eagles, fly. From what has been unfolding inside the NovaCare complex, there's a strong sense of urgency coming from both the coaching staff and the front office. The Eagles are fully aware that last season's shortcomings cannot be repeated, and key players have been putting in the work to ensure the team bounces back stronger than ever. Nick Sirianni has been emphasizing discipline, physicality, and sharper execution, sending a clear message that complacency is not an option. According to internal discussions, there's a strong belief that the current core can compete with anyone in the league if they stay healthy and focused. The leadership of Jalen Hurts continues to be a driving force, with teammates praising his relentless preparation and ability to set the tone for the entire locker room. His chemistry with A.J. Brown remains electric, and the coaching staff is reportedly thrilled with how their connection has continued to evolve through off-season workouts. The offensive line, anchored by veterans like Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson, remains one of the team's biggest strengths, and their presence not only protects Hurts, but also fuels one of the league's most dangerous rushing attacks. On the defensive side, the Eagles are making it clear that improvement is a top priority. Last season's struggles in key moments have been dissected repeatedly, and the addition of young talent combined with experienced leaders is giving the coaching staff new options to tighten up their schemes. The defensive front, led by players who have already proven they can dominate, is expected to once again be a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. There's also growing excitement about the development of younger players who could step into bigger roles this year, giving the defense more depth and flexibility than it had in recent campaigns. Sirianni and defensive coordinator Vic Fangio have been working closely to ensure that communication and execution are sharper, aiming to create a unit that can consistently shut down high-powered offenses. Behind the scenes, the front office has been carefully balancing the need to stay competitive now while also preparing for the future. Contract negotiations and roster management have been handled with precision to maintain flexibility while keeping key contributors in place.
Players and coaches alike have spoken about the incredible energy during training sessions, with veterans and rookies pushing each other to raise the standard every day. The hunger to return to the Super Bowl is unmistakable, and everyone inside the building knows that anything less than a deep playoff run will be considered a disappointment. With the NFC looking as competitive as ever, the Eagles understand that every decision, from player rotations to in-game adjustments, will play a crucial role in determining whether this team can reclaim its spot among the league's elite. The buzz around the team is impossible to ignore, and fans are already anticipating what could be a defining season for this era of Eagles football. The blend of established stars and emerging talent gives Philadelphia one of the most intriguing rosters in the league, and if everything comes together, there's no reason they can't make another run at the Lombardi Trophy. But what do you think, Eagles fans? Do you believe this roster, under Nick Sirianni's leadership and with Jalen Hurts leading the charge, has what it takes to get back to the Super Bowl this year? Building off everything we just discussed, the tension around this matchup with the Rams is electric, and it's no wonder Eagles fans are hanging on every update coming out of Philadelphia. The issues that have surfaced through the first two games of the season are both a concern and a reminder of how high the standard has become for this team. Despite all the talent stacked across the roster, the Eagles have struggled to create explosive plays, something that was a defining element of their offensive dominance in recent years. Through 2 games to start 2025, the team has only managed 3 passing plays of 10-plus yards, a shocking contrast to the 169 explosive plays they generated back in 2022 when they averaged nearly 10 a game. Jalen Hurts, usually known for his ability to hit deep shots, has posted an average depth of target of only 6 yards, the lowest of his career as a full-time starter. This isn't just a small adjustment, it's a trend that has made the Eagles' offense frustratingly predictable and easier for opposing defenses to contain. Kevin Patullo, the newly promoted offensive coordinator, finds himself at the center of this scrutiny. Taking over for Kellen Moore, Patullo is only 8 quarters into his career as an NFL play caller, and while fans are already questioning his schemes, it's important to recognize he's learning on the job. Early struggles are not unprecedented for this team. Last season the Eagles didn't find their offensive rhythm until mid-season, But patience is running thin as fans recall the Brian Johnson experiment in 2023. Patullo's conservative approach, combined with the desire to limit turnovers, has led to a vanilla offensive identity where the defense can often predict what's coming next. It's a balancing act. Nick Sirianni knows that winning the turnover battle is a formula for success, with the Eagles posting an incredible 36-2 record under his leadership when winning that margin. Yet, in a league where explosive plays can decide games, playing too safe can be just as dangerous. One glaring consequence of this approach has been the underutilization of star wideout A.J. Brown. Through 2 games, Brown has only 6 catches for 35 yards and just a single target in the season opener. His routes have become too predictable, with defenses reading his slants and short patterns with ease. For a player of his caliber, an all-pro who combines size, speed, and elite route running, this lack of production is stunning. The numbers paint a clear picture. Brown's average depth of target this year sits at just 7.4 yards, far below his career norms, while his yards after the catch have plummeted. The connection between Hurts and Brown has historically been one of the most dangerous in the NFL, and the fact that Hurts has attempted only 3 passes of 20 or more yards so far highlights just how constrained the offense has become. If the Eagles want to reclaim their explosiveness, getting Brown involved early and often is non-negotiable. On the ground, Saquon Barkley remains a game-changing force, and his history against the Rams adds another layer of intrigue to this matchup. Last season, Barkley torched Los Angeles for a record-breaking 255-yard performance with 2 touchdowns of over 70 yards in a single game, then followed it up with another dominant outing in the playoffs with 205 yards and 2 more long scores. The Rams have not forgotten, and their top-ranked scoring defense will be locked in on containing him. Through 2 games this year, they've allowed only 14 points per game and rank among the league's best in yards allowed, yards per play, and red zone defense. Slowing Barkley will be their top priority, and Philadelphia will need creative play calling to free him from the inevitable heavy fronts he'll face. Defensively, the Eagles have been steadier, carrying the load while the offense searches for answers. They've given up just 7 second-half points across the first 2 games, showing the kind of resilience that can win tight matchups. But the secondary remains a concern, particularly with Adoree Jackson's struggles. Opposing quarterbacks have targeted him relentlessly, and his Pro Football Focus grades place him near the bottom of the league in coverage. With Matthew Stafford still sharp and armed with dangerous weapons like Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, the Rams will no doubt look to exploit this weakness. Stafford's 71% completion rate and ability to execute timing throws with precision present a major challenge, and Sirianni's defense will need to tighten coverage and generate pressure to limit big plays. The stage is set for a clash between 2 NFC heavyweights, and the margins will be razor thin, with the Rams entering this game as the league's top scoring defense and the Eagles owning a 36-2 record when winning the turnover battle. Every possession will matter. The Eagles' ability to finally unleash their offensive firepower, protect Hurts, and contain Stafford's passing attack will determine whether they remain undefeated against Los Angeles in their recent meetings. This is more than just a Week 3 game. It's a statement opportunity for Philadelphia to prove they can overcome early season struggles and reassert themselves as a true Super Bowl contender. But now it's your turn, Eagles fans. Given the offensive challenges, the need to get A.J. Brown more involved, and the looming threat of the Rams' defense, what do you believe is the single most important adjustment the team needs to make to secure this victory? And as we take an even closer look at what's coming, the pressure on this Philadelphia Eagles team feels heavier than ever. The excitement of opening the season with 2 wins has been tempered by the way those victories were earned, gritty, low-scoring battles that relied heavily on defense and special teams while the offense sputtered to find its identity. Nick Sirianni has openly acknowledged that the team must evolve if they expect to survive the gauntlet of an NFC schedule loaded with contenders. The numbers don't lie, ranking 29th in total yards per game at just 259 and averaging a mere 4.3 yards per play simply isn't good enough for a roster stacked with this much firepower. Philadelphia has proven they can dominate the trenches and wear opponents down, but to make a serious Super Bowl run, the passing attack must reemerge as the lethal weapon it was designed to be. The upcoming matchup with the Rams provides both a test and an opportunity. This is a Los Angeles team that has spent the offseason stewing over back-to-back losses to the Eagles, including the painful divisional round exit where Saquon Barkley shredded their defense for more than 200 yards. Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford have studied every snap from those games, and you can bet they'll target the weak spots in Philadelphia's secondary with precision. That means Adoree Jackson will have a bullseye on his back, and if the Eagles don't find a way to help him, Stafford's connection with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams could quickly flip the momentum. Still, the Rams face their own challenges, a cross-country trip for an early kickoff at Lincoln Financial Field, a hostile Philadelphia crowd hungry to make life miserable for any visiting team, and the psychological hurdle of trying to topple a squad that has beaten them twice when it mattered most. For the Eagles, the key may come down to calculated aggression. Sirianni's conservative strategy of protecting the football has produced an incredible 36-2 record when winning the turnover battle, but continuing to play it safe could cost them against a defense as disciplined as the Rams. Jalen Hurts has the protection up front, with Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson anchoring one of the best defensive lines in the league. He has an all-pro receiver in A.J. Brown who thrives on deep shots and a dynamic backfield headlined by Barkley, who can break a game open on any carry. The talent is there to stretch the field, force safeties to back off, and create the kind of explosive plays that defined their run to the Super Bowl just a few seasons ago. The question is whether Patullo will trust Hurts to let it fly and whether Hurts himself will seize the moment to remind everyone why he's among the NFL's elite quarterbacks. This game isn't just another early season matchup. It feels like a measuring stick for everything the Eagles want to become in 2025. A win would not only keep them unbeaten but also send a message to the rest of the conference that Philadelphia remains a force to be feared even as they iron out offensive wrinkles. A loss, on the other hand, would raise the volume on questions about play calling, scheme predictability, and the lack of explosive plays that have defined the first 2 weeks. With so much on the line, Eagles fans are bracing for a heavyweight fight that could come down to a single turnover, a single deep shot, or a single Barkley burst to decide the outcome. So let's hear it from you once again. Do you think this is the week the Eagles finally unleash their full offensive potential, or will they stick to the slow, suffocating style that has carried them so far? Go Eagles!